Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond. How to get out of Babylon. It's a long, grueling process unless you just make the jump to light speed. It takes decades, years, centuries. Takes some planning. You can make the jump, get out, get a tent and whatever, and just go live in a wilderness, and that's what a lot of people are going to be doing. Actually, a lot of people are already doing that, and that'll work here, by and large, or small. Okay, so I'm going to go through what I wrote up to this point and then go into the test, and we'll see how far I get. I don't know if I'll be interrupted. If I am, I'll just cut it short. So the springboard for this was a friend sent me the top 10 skills to learn before shit hit the fan. Now, I'm not going to go into any comments. This is not a video response to this video. Number one, that video is about skills. I'm not talking about skills. Although if I were to rework it, I would kind of go into the whole redo my. Skills is one thing, okay? The things you need to have is something else. But as far as skills, I would say number one would be learn how to build a shelter. He doesn't say that. Number two, learn how to purify water. He doesn't say that. Actually, number one, learn how to make an improvised gas mask. Number one. Number two, shelter. Number three, food. Why do I put them? Number three, water. Number four, food. Why do I put them in that order? Because that's the order in which you will die. The soonest. If you have no hope, 3 seconds, you're going to give up. If you can't breathe safe air in 3 minutes, you're going to die. If you can't get shelter within 3 hours, you're going to die. If you can't have safe drinking water within 3 days, you're going to die. Okay? And if you can't somehow secure food within 3 weeks, you're going to die. So, his thing is, in my estimation, skewed a bit. It's a good list, and I went over it. It's not a bad list by any means, and I'm not video responding to it. I'm not commenting on it other than the fact that I just commented on it. All right, so anyway. But it was a springboard. It was a good starting place for me to go and start thinking about, what do we really need to do? So, for survival. Let me make a point for all of those people out there who I hope are not listening to me, but here and there might one of you all be listening to me, and maybe something I say will make sense to you. Go away. And that is, on the subject of prepping and survivalism. Please read, and I don't know if I want to read it. It's got a really heavy book, The Postman. Okay. The bad people, the bad army, the evil force in that book are survivalists. And I am of the opinion that there's a damn good reason why David Brin used that for the bad guys, because they're going to be bad guys. Like I said in a former video, once you cross the line, once you commit murder, once you commit theft, once you steal from somebody at gunpoint, you've crossed a line. Your conscience is decaying. It's being burned up. It's being seared. Once you rape someone, your conscience is being burned. You're going to be more likely to commit those crimes again. Oh, we just need to refine our process here. You hold the gun and you do this and you do that. I remember one scene where two guys went up to a door to a farm to ask for food. The other guy was, watching through a scoped rifle, and some kind of altercation or misunderstanding or whatever took place between the two guys at the door and the people in the farmhouse, and the guy shot the farmer. Once the first one is down, your conscience is being seared, and it's just a matter of recommitting that same exact crime again and again. You have committed murder. Do not play it any other way. Once you commit murder, your soul, unless you repent, King David committed murder, but he repented. You commit murder, don't repent, you're toast for eternity. Okay? You have committed evil against the creator of this world, this universe that we live in. All right? So, understand that. You sear your conscience, you're going to keep doing the same thing that you started doing. So, there's a reason, like I said, why David Brin has as the major force of evil in a post-apocalyptic world. Okay, the Postman. Kevin Costner did a pretty good movie of it, but does not, very few movies have the depth and thought that a book can have, and that one definitely did not. It was way, way lacking. Had some good points, yeah. One of the nice touches was Tom Petty, but it wasn't the Postman in the book. So the survivalists were the bad guys. Remember that. The survivalists were the bad guys. If you think of yourself as a survivalist, you have got to understand that you are transgressing the law of God, the law in the Old Testament, the laws in the New Testament. How does survivalism fit in with, like us for no more? How does the us for no more dictums? Shoot first and ask questions later. When somebody's hungry and they come to the door, should I feed them or should I eat them? There's a lot of people planning on eating human beings. There's a lot of people right now eating human beings. I'm not going to talk about anything more on that on this video. All right, so there are forces at work that are going to be turning what people that thought themselves as good people into really bad people. Okay, so moving right along on the subject of survival, like this guy had at the end of his thing there, enjoy this video and stay savage. And I'm like, stay savage? You're seriously planning on being savage and living like a savage? If you intend to be savage, then you will devolve to the level of savages. Savages do not build civilizations. Savages destroy civilization. Well-fed neighbor alliance, the best defense in hard times is a well-fed neighbor. He that seeks to lose his life for my sake shall find it. He that seeks to save his life shall lose it. And I'm going to repeat this because this is very important. The one thing I've tried very hard to convey to people who claim, supposedly want to survive, what is coming at all of us, is that the most valuable thing that you will have to help you get through the dark forces window of time, and that's taken from Ringing Cedars of Russia phraseology. That's my goal, is to help as many people as possible be carried through the dark forces window of time. The most valuable thing that you'll have to help you is the good people that you have managed to gather around you. If you do not have another good person gathered around you, you're playing lone wolf. Solo is not going to cut it. Okay? This guy made like a life goal to accumulate land and use people as puppets. Not a cool thing to do to people. So question comes down to is, are you helping to strengthen good people and enable them to be better? Or are you opposing good people and rendering them less effective? Ask yourself that question. That should be on the test. Oh my gosh, I think I need to add to the test, don't you? I do. Okay. We will all be judged for what we did regarding that. How many good people you have around you to help you with your health, help you with your nutrition, help you with water, providing pure, clean, good drinking water, help you with heating capability, etc., etc., etc. If this is a grand solar minimum winter coming up, it's going to be miraculous if everybody that moved here makes it. I'm not as concerned about the rest of the country because, as far as I'm concerned, all bets are off and have been off for years for other regions. But here, you know, there's a lot of people living in tents and stuff, and that's sad. I mean, it's sad that they're not getting more help than they are. A young family came and visited the farm, and they both loaded them up with, you need this? Yeah. You need this? Sure. You know, I mean, they went out with a whole bunch of food, and then I was like, oh man, I forgot the coconut oil. I could have given you some coconut oil. So I haven't seen them again. Their tent was leaking. I hope they're okay. Please pray for them. His name's Andrew, the husband's name. Shauna, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, it was a different spelling. So, you know, I've accumulated a lot of things, and no, I don't have a backhoe. No, I don't have, you know, a bunch of ATVs, but the basics, shelter, water, I've got those where other people would not have them, but bring everything you can to the party. Are you doing everything that you can possibly do to make sure all the skills, all the things for shelter, defense, for water purification, filtration are there where you're at, wherever your family, friends, whatever bug out location is? You should have all of those things there in spades, in multiples. You know, are you helping anyone and everyone you can who knows how to use and take care of all those things? Are you helping that person, those people, be a part of your survival quotient? That should be in the test too. I got to look that over. All right. So this is a survival IQ test. Call it your survival quotient, your SQ. Instead of your intelligence quotient, your IQ, this is your survival quotient, your SQ. Da-da-da-da. Okay, test. Dadgummit. Sorry. Test scores will range from 0 to 110 on the low side to, say, 990 to 1,000 on the high side. Now, this is just my scoring system. You can do whatever you want. You can emulate the two outside ones. You'll see that in a minute. Basically, I've got 10, 20, and then 40, 60, 80, 90, and 100. So on the outer end there, basically, you could say less than 20, greater than 80, and make it simple. But I just figured, you know, if you could score 10, as that's really bad, and hopefully nobody could score 0, and you might score yourself a 90 on some of them, and I wouldn't think anybody could possibly score 100 on any category. That's why I say you're theoretically, if you were absolutely perfect, you'd have a score of 1,100, 11 questions. So if you had 100 times 11 times 100, 1,100 would be a perfect score. Not going to happen. I think you'd have to be lying through your teeth to give yourself that score. So on the low side, hey, you know, if you're less than 50%, then improve. Okay. If you're below 100, don't bother calling yourself a prepper. This is my overall scoring categories. Below 200, pure suckage in a time of suckage. Okay. That's taken from the book The Last Centurions, and I'll maybe touch on that in a little bit, but I want to get through these. Below 300, abysmal. Below 500, still failing. Below 700, barely adequate. Above 800, pretty darn good. And above 900, awesomeness, and most likely nearly or absolutely impossible. So those are the kind of descriptions of the categories. So, and I think with that, I want to stop this one, keep it short. So this is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant.